welcome to the first podcast of the Ginger Podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's your favourite Ginger coming at you with his first podcast, episode 1 of season 1. Hope we're all right. Hope everyone's okay. All right, this will go on YouTube, this will go on the podcast app, and this will go on Spotify. So make sure you hit the follow button, subscribe button, like, whatever you want to do. Do it now. Do what you want to do. So, first podcast, going to be a little bit about me, get to know me better, and my journey, and who I am. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about goal setting. I do veer off into other things all the time. If you know my videos, I'll always start talking about random shit. But anyway, this will probably be called, I think we should call it fucking bodybuilding, Ginger Podcast, and fucking goal setting, me about me, and shit. That sounded terrible. Goal setting, and me, plus shit. Something like that. That sounds good. So, a little bit about me. So, I started training about 4 years ago. A little bit more than 4 years ago now. And I've always been really active. I was really active, did every single sport, flew through rugby, flew through football, did everything. And really found I sort of was more optimal and I was better within lone sports. So, team sports, I wasn't the best. I could work well in a team. Don't get me wrong. I just found that if I wasn't the best at football, really, and then, pardon me, and in rugby, I wasn't the biggest guy. And it's to find I get clattered by the big fuckers and go home with a sore head and then not be able to play the next game. And it was just a bit like that. So I never really played a high level of a team sport. I really found I stuck really well at golf and, golf and martial arts. Found that that was something I was stuck in. I had lots of aggression when I was young. So with my martial arts, I did Tang Soo Do and I did Thai boxing, and I did that for years, probably from about the age of 11 till 18. Stuck at that, and yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Lots of injuries through that. Nutrition was fucking non-existent. It was Doritos and baked beans and Lucozades, and I was still ripped, so it was all good. I knew I could stay lean. Moving on, basically get to about 18, got lots of injuries on my back, and it just caused me agony. My mum, I cut exercise off and really just was a vegetable and just played Xbox, met with a mate, got pissed, got fucked up, had a good time. Really sort of woke up one day about 8 o'clock in the morning when I used to be like a lazy bastard and realised that, okay, I wanted to get, like, what the fuck's going on? My dad walked in and he goes, "Oh, you're growing up." And it was like, what the fuck? What do you mean I'm growing up? Nah, you're getting older. Like, this starts happening. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Next day, woke up, exactly same time, about 8 o'clock. What the fuck's going on? Anyway, I'd been about a year out of exercise. A bit less than that, probably about 8 months. And my mum goes, "Come on, just come to the gym with me." I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's go." Have they got a bag there? I think I asked that. Yeah, they've got a punch bag. Oh, fuck yeah. Went in there and started training. And the guy in there was like a bit of like a bodybuilding enthusiast and one of the PTs. And he was just like, I was like, "Yeah, I just want to get bigger, I just want to get stronger, fitter, ready to go." And he just gave me a little plan. "Oh, yeah, go off and do this." Did it, was there consistent and was doing about 4 days a week. And that was probably like a good amount of time because I could recover. Now I look back and was recovering. It was good. It was getting stronger. People were going, "Oh, you look quite wide." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then he was like, "You want to go to the bodybuilding gym down the road?" I was like, "Okay, all right." And I didn't really understand about nutrition at this point. So let's fast forward 6 months. Boom. I go to the bodybuilding gym. Go to the bodybuilding gym. I'm the smallest person there and I'm the weakest person there. Everyone is nice. Never had an experience like that before. The scariest people, I'm talking about women and men, the scariest people there. I'm 20 years old. I'm like, what the fuck? I go in, the biggest unit I've ever seen in my fucking life goes up to me and it's like, "What's up, Ginge?" I'm like, "All right, mate." Just like, shit. Started working out and I was working out. I've always worked out hard. I've always put 100% effort in everything I've ever done. I've always tried my best. That's just me. It's a trait I've held and that's just what I've been brought up to be told to do. So from that, they saw that I was training hard, and it was a bit intimidating going to that gym, not going to lie. But I'm thankful I started off at a gym like that because I don't think there's enough people really getting those sort of gyms anymore with those sort of people. where it just sort of makes you humble, make you humble really quickly. I went into a gym, and I was, the first time I went in there was a girl squatting 3.5 plates. So it sort of made me shut the fuck up very quickly, very early on. So even before I could build an ego, it was already fucking down into the fucking drain. It was left at the door. It was gone. There was no way any bloke was walking in there with an ego unless it was fucking Ronnie Coleman. So fast forward 6 months from then, progressed, sort of learned a bit more about nutrition, and was still not on point. Was poor student, PTing, and was probably getting more into strength and conditioning now, learning a little bit more in my second year. So I started doing a bit more strength and conditioning, learning, did a bit more strength work. So I sort of set myself a goal that I wanted to be able to squat 2 plates when I joined that gym, and then I got that pretty quickly. I remember taking a trip to America. I remember coming back from America and doing it. One of the things all I could think about was coming back from America, squatting 2 plates. Came in, I was jet lagged to shit. I fucking had no sleep. I came in, I squatted 2 plates, like 10 reps. I was fucking flying. It was happy. I went home, slept all day. It was brilliant. And then fast forward from then, set myself, I wanted to do 3 plates. I wanted to do bench press 2.5. This thing, little goals like that. Just wanted to get. I wanted to be able to do 2 plates on the incline for at least like 8 reps. Got there, and always set myself these goals. So yeah, training was always really good. And then from then, I was always interested in even when I joined that gym, I was interested in bodybuilding. People started saying I looked wide. Like, you look wide, mate. You got some. And I was like, what do you mean? And now I look back, and I was at a fucking community gym, council gym. So people were just looking, and they didn't have an idea of training. They're all old farts, and they were just like, I was slightly in shape, I looked like a boxer, and I was like, fuck it. I got more interested, so I started watching Pumping Iron, and Generation Iron was out, and I got really hooked onto the sort of building muscle. I guess from always being able to, in a lone sport, of setting myself goals of like, I want to win this fight, I want to be able to kick harder, I want to be able to do a spinning hook kick and tap people on the head every fucking time. I want to be able to, fucking hit someone so fucking hard that their fucking head flies off, to going into, I want to be able to bench press, I want to be able to squat, I want to be able to, do a lat spread and boom, pop out. It started moving over to that direction, and I got really, really, really into it. And basically, nutrition wasn't really there. So then I basically asked the biggest guy, like, how many meals do you eat? And he's basically just said 8. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'll eat 10. And I had that approach when I started. And then took more, started doing more nutrition within uni. I learned that sort of protein requirements, where we put carbohydrates, where they used. And carbohydrates really, what we learned at university, was all for just endurance sport. They don't really give a shit. Strength sport, if you're dealing with strength athletes, you usually just, there's your protein, fucking do your cleans, If you're dealing with strong men, they eat as much as they fucking can. Obviously, good sources, but it's not really low. We went into a degree in nutrition. And if anyone tells you about they did a degree in nutrition, it probably didn't help in bodybuilding. Drink break. So moving on, I got fat. I got into a fat bastard, and training. I started off training 5 times a week with 2 rest days split, which was good. And then I started working at the gym, so it eventually just turned into training 6 days a week with 1 rest day, because I would work. So I'd work, and then I'd be like, I'm just going to train after work. Happy days. And it just happened, and it was going, and people go, oh, mate, do you want to jump in? Oh, what are you training today? And I'd be like, I'm going to train chest again. Oh, yeah, let's jump in. And it just became that sort of bro sort of thing, with always the idea of wanting to compete. And then basically fast forward, and then I get in touch with Jordan Peters, and he basically tells me, like, I give you credit that you're trying to train till failure. However, you're training too much. Oh, okay. And then I was like, am I? And then I look back and I go, I'm getting whit loads on my fingers all the time. I've just done my unit and overtraining and overreaching. I'm always sort of feel like I've got a common cold. You know what? I'm probably overtraining. Like, I'm probably actually like on the brink of overtraining. Probably about to get sick, Yeah. I'm probably doing too much. Like, this isn't right, And then I sort of like, it all sort of clicked in, and I'm like, I know what I'm doing wrong here. Why didn't I do it like in the first place? And now I sort of think back, fuck, if I trained properly earlier on, I'd probably be like, 10 more steps ahead. However, it is what it is. So me, I've only really been training seriously for about a year and a half, eating properly for about, year and a half to 2 years, I would say. Because I feel like I've made my most amount of gains in the last 7 months, and I've made the most amount of gains I've ever made. In the last, that's damn right the truth. So that's another day. That's another story for another podcast. Anyway, moving on. Did a prep. Did come second in my show at the PCA London. It was a stacked lineup for the juniors. Brought really good conditioning. Wasn't the biggest. I was by far one of the smallest people on stage. However, my muscle bellies, where I think they sat, I think my shoulders, etc., just seemed to pop. Not really had next to no traps, but I just, like I said, where they sit, just looked good. Got told by people and have a good team behind me who said they just sort of looked good, but I was weighing fuck all. And very surprised when a lot of people said to me when they asked my weight. And on the show day, I was about 77 on that day, and on the British finals, I was 76. And it took people back. Whoa, I just got beaten by a guy who was weighing fucking, people said 20 pounds lighter. So I knew I was onto something good, and the feedback from the judges was just very nice structure, looked very nice, very good condition for a junior, but you can be better in size. You were just beaten by size. And it was the same story in the British finals. I was lean, by far the smallest person on stage, got 6th. It is what it is. Happy with it though. It was my first season. I got to the British finals. That was one of my goals. And we bring on to here, into off-season, and now I'm more of a ruthless approach towards my bodybuilding, where I understand about being optimal, and I've taken that wanting to progress goal setting to a next level, I believe. I've taken it actually to a level of feeling like I'm more like a bodybuilder now. So this brings on to my next subject. So you know about me, you know pretty much my ins and outs about lifting in the gym, why I started, etc. That I was into golf. Yeah, fucking golf. The big ginger bastard. And I'll tell you what, there's one thing that hasn't changed about me, and that's my swearing and being loud. So you can imagine me on a golf course. I wasn't the nicest person to be around on the golf course, because I was always going, fuck, tits, wank, oh, look at this wanker, just shouting shit. And I wasn't talking about a person calling him a wank, I was talking about the ball. And half of it was in the fucking rough. So, yeah, you can imagine it was a good fucking crack. So, let's move on to goal setting. So, you can sort of see earlier on, even when I wasn't bodybuilding, I always had a goal that I wanted to win, I wanted to fight, I wanted to be able to spar with the big boys, I want to get in the ring with X, Y, and Z. There's a big guy called Gibson, and I remember getting in the ring with him. He was similar height to me, but he weighed fucking about, 10 kilos heavier than me, and he knocked me out fucking several times. But I always wanted to get in the ring with him, and I knew that I could learn. And it was a goal of mine, keep getting harder, stronger. Can I kick the heavy bag? Can I move it? That was, to me, that was evident earlier on in my life. I've always been able to goal set by myself, and I've always been able to progress better by myself. Then we move on to bodybuilding. I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to be able to get a certain weight. One thing I did get a problem with earlier on was chasing numbers on the scales. I wanted to get to 80 kilos, got to 80 kilos, still stayed pretty lean. 85, got a little fat. And then I got to 90, I got fucking fat. And then I got to 98, and I was a fat bastard. And then we started prep. I was like I was a tank. I had a belly on me. Not a proper belly, but hopefully if I can edit this, I'll maybe able to put a photo on there. Maybe I'll put the thumbnail as a photo on there. But yeah, that I was a victim of chasing numbers. However, it was goal settings for me. Now I've matured in my bodybuilding very quickly. I do find that my bodybuilding's made me mature in my goals. So now it's not chasing numbers, but it's how I look. I want to be rounder. I want to be thicker. I want to be bringing up, next time I go on stage, I'm not too bothered where I want to be weighing. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be too bothered, but I just want to look thicker. Everywhere needs to be thicker. It just needs to be denser, and that's what I'm progressing to. A lot of it is numbers now, so a lot of it I'm looking at numbers on my logbook to identify strength increases. However, I'm not too stupid and ego lifting with my logbook. You might see some of my lifts on, sometimes the form's questionable in the last 2 reps, the last rep, maybe some people would say. However, I try to keep it really tight, and I will look at something. I'll look at, so I've got 120 kilos on the T-bar row, for instance. Let's look at that. Okay, 120. All right. Okay, that can go up because I got 10 reps last time and I put an arrow, so that needs to go up. So it was the 10th rep was not forced. Okay, let go up. I put it 125, easy 8 with 1 force rep, 9. Happy. That's what I'm sort of going with now, and it's identifying I'm getting stronger. Obviously, I'm not chasing numbers on the scales too much, but I'm looking for increases each week. Obviously, this is with the help of Jordan. He really has shown me sort of that style of, look, you want to see the weight increase, but we don't want to get a fat bastard. We want to keep you lean. So if I can see the weights increase, so like, for instance, last week we went from 2 weeks ago, I think it was 93.5. I've gone up to 93.8. And I still got the same condition. I still got abs. I still get veiny. And I still got a vein in my forehead. So it is what it is. So that was that. After that season, I was like, I want to grow. All right, I want to grow. I want to increase my weight. I don't think there's any point in dilly-dallying around doing a show this year, coming in a few pounds heavier. Cool. Fuck that shit. I'm not a junior anymore. I'm 23. I think I could actually still get in the juniors, or I think you have to be born before 95. Either way, I knew what I needed to do. Spoke to the coach. Look, I want to grow this year, off season. His response was, fuck yeah. So I know I was doing something right. Basically going on, I set myself a goal now is to grow. This year, grow, increase the weight. Next year, maybe an off season, right towards the end, midsummer, then prep for a show, late September. I don't really know if I am going to do that yet, because I want to speak to the coach probably nearer on now January, because we are in 7 months and I'm still sort of focusing on this off season. But my next goal is I want to be in the British finals. That's one of my next goals. The next goal after that would be to win a European Championship. And then from there, hopefully, if I'm good enough to be the best in Britain in my category, best in Europe in my category, I think that would be a good indication that you'd be good enough to try and qualify for a pro card qualifier. But that's years to come. That's probably a good 5 years from now. Realistically, this is just the way the physiology of your body is. It could be 3-5 years. I'd rather be in the position of being a very good, in a good position of having the CV of built up, of British, good junior season, British title, European title, boom, next. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of what falls in line next, doesn't it? If you've done your category in Britain, you may do two categories in Britain. Next season you've got a little bit bigger. You've gone to a different, intermediate. You've gone into a class 2, whatever. You win that, and then it's sort of that's those stepping stones. Call it old fashioned, call it what you want, but I think it gives you a CV built up, and people know who you are. So that's my goals. Let's talk about goal setting for you guys if you want to try and goal set. So if you want to try and goal set yourself, set yourself a realistic goal. There's no point saying, I want to be a professional bodybuilder when you first start off. It's in everyone's head. If you really are enthusiastic about bodybuilding, you love it, and I love to do this as a professional. Yes, it's good to have dreams. Yes, it is, but try and goal set. So go, when you first start off, if you're going, right, okay, one of your first goals should be, I want to get my nutrition down. I want to be able to know what I'm eating. Go study, find out. All right, I know I need to be in a calorie surplus. I'm trying a 500 calorie surplus. I need to eat X amount of protein. I need to eat X amount of carbs, and then X amount of fats. Cool, and you're hitting that. That's your goal. You've hit a goal. You've got there. Cool. By the time you're doing that, you're probably thinking, oh, wicked, straight on to the next one. Try and set yourself goals like that. Little step stones. Give yourself a good way of doing it is putting yourself in macro and micro cycles of training. What I'm trying to say is basically just like 4 to 8 week phases of training. Give yourself a a month goal, give yourself a 3-month goal, give yourself a 6-month goal, give yourself a yearly goal. You know, so your yearly goal might be to compete in a show and place in top 3. All right. Well, your month goal might be increase the weight, increase your lifts. Cool. At the end of the month, look in your logbook. Holy fucking shit! I've increased my weights on all my lifts. Happy days. I've got stronger in the gym. My weight's gone up. I'm happy. All right. Well, on 3 months, it's the same goal. Oh, 3 months, I've increased by X amount of weights. I've increased by X amount of weights on the lifts. Happy days. All right, it's prep time. I'm going to prep. Okay, I want to be as shredded as possible, and I want to look fucking sick. All right, wicked. However, I want to try and maintain my lifts. I want to try and stay as strong as possible. Cool. Month. I've stayed strong. My lifts have increased. I've been in a calorie deficit for over a month. And it's got, I've lowered my deficit each week. I've been losing weight. I feel good. Cool. You'll have a coach, and the coach will be doing these kind of things. However, you can goal set these things too. It's good and healthy for yourself to goal set these things. And then you don't even have to jot them down necessarily. You could just have them in your head going, I need to lose weight. Okay, cool. And you've lost weight that week. Happy days. Tick. Do you know what I mean? Keep going that way. It gets up to your show. Maybe your show date's in September time. Cool. It gets near September. All right. Cool. Your coach is helping you get ready for your show. Comes to show day. You place top 3. Tick. Done. There you go. 12 months was sorted. Maybe a bit less than 12, like 10. Whatever it is. Let's just say 12 because it's easy. 12 months. You set your goals. I think it's really important that if you do that it's really good. And then your goal might be rebound really well, enjoy a bit of food. Tick. I did that. I've rebounded. I've still got abs. I'm still veiny. I still look good. I feel happy about myself. Stay healthy. Tick. Awesome. That might be another goal of yours. Cool. Got your bloods back. Blood became back fucking wicked. You're awesome. Maybe cholesterol's a little high because you ate too much drunk. Oh, fuck. Not letting that happen again. Tick. Go. These are just little goals. And these are really good ones to set. And it may not be even in bodybuilding. I do set my goals outside of my life. One of my goals is to be able to move out by the age of 23. I've moved out. I live with my girlfriend, live in a flat. I've moved out of house. It gives me the freedom, And I do have goals of trying to one day I'd like to have my own gym. That's a goal of mine. It's not going to happen overnight, And I think bodybuilding and in having more of a CV, of a what's the right word? Credibility, be more of an influencer. These are all goals of mine to increase. Hence why I'm doing the podcast. Why I'm trying to show you, tell you guys this. And I hope people do listen to this, and I hope it helps you guys. But yeah, I think it's been 25 minutes of me babbling on about shit. Really, you've got to know who I am. You've got to know what my goals are like, what I did, basically my journey up to this day. I'm still a really young bodybuilder. I'm 23 years old, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? I'm 23 years old. I'm a very small bodybuilder at the minute, and I want to get to a mass monster. There you go. We're talking about goals. There's another goal. Anyway, we will talk about more stuff, what goes on the week. I do write stuff down. I will just click, that pissed me off, whatever. Cool. And I think 25 minutes is enough. I think next one we'll talk about some of the shows that I've been. I shouldn't really talk about the show that's just gone by. However, don't really have time for it because 25 minutes. Most of you guys have got bored after 5 listening to me babble on about my life. So, if you haven't already, follow if you listen on Spotify. Follow if you listen, or subscribe if you listen on the Apple Music podcast app, and also give me a subscribe and a like if you're looking at me on YouTube. This will be up as soon as possible. Hope you all kill it. If you've got any questions, follow me on at Ginger Training on Instagram. You'll be able to find me on there, and you'll be able to ask me any questions. I do answer people. It just takes time. Okay. Anyway, take it easy, get massive, and keep it fucking ginger.